Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of my tutorial series on making a Discord bot and a custom programming language to accompany it. In this episode we're going to be setting up running the program, finally, but first we need to take care of some little problems. So first we're going to go to Atom. We need to change some things in the grammar, first of all. When we defined identifier, we said not keyword. We never actually defined what keywords are. And right now we don't actually have any keywords in our language, but for now we can just do keyword equals, well, eventually they're going to be like if, and, I don't know, switch is going to be one, else is going to be one, so this basically just means that you can't make a variable that is the same word as a keyword. So we don't need to define keyword in the semantics object because it's never actually going to be interpreted. It's just checked when ohm parses our user-generated or user-inputted code to pick out all the variables and stuff. Okay, so now we can go ahead and save that. Next thing we need to change is in language. We messed up here. We need to make this equals. We forgot this equals sign here, so just do environment equals lodash.clonedeep original environment. And then the next one is iter. This needs to be in parentheses, like this. So that is fixed. So now that we have all those things fixed, we can move on to implementing the next part. You may have also noticed that I made the font size bigger, so hopefully this will make it easier to read in the future videos. So next, we're going to set up running the program. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to go to language, and we're just going to scroll to the bottom. After we create our semantics object, we're going to collapse this so it's easier. So we'll just collapse. After we create it, first thing we want to do is we want to make a new variable called result, and this is going to be the value is going to be grammar.match code. So what this is going to do is ohm is going to take the grammar and it's going to match it against the inputted code, and it's going to get it the result. So now we also want to check if the result.succeeded, if not result.succeeded, so if it did not succeed, then we're going to throw new error. And this is thrown if ohm couldn't parse our input, so we'll just fail to parse input, and we'll return. So now next we want to make a try loop, or a try block. Our program, so now that we have this result with the of the abstract syntax tree, which is what it's technically called, I think, now we're going to use the semantics object to turn that into our program block. And now we're going to do another try block. No, first we're going to go down here. So if this fails, we're going to catch error, and we're going to for now, this is just if it's a parse error. So we'll do that next. What we want to do next is another try block now. So our output is program.interpret. So we'll have the program, which would be the collection of lines. And if you remember, if we go back to our semantics object, if you interpret a program, the output will be the last output of the statement. So now we can collapse this again. The output is program.interpret. So now we're going to set up another bit of the environment. So what we want to do now is go back up to the environment. We want to our original environment. We're going to start adding the first thing. We're going to add some also testing things. So we're going to make a variable called pi, and that's going to be math.pi, and e, which is math.e. And then we're also going to use this, which is going to be used internally. So this is just going to be so it can be easily passed around between different different programs but not be the same. So we'll just call this underscore underscore output so that we remember that it's not supposed to be used by a actual user. So you don't want that to be used because then it'll start breaking. It could break your stuff. So now we want to go back down here and to the end of output, to the end of that underscore underscore output variable that we just created, we want to create a new, we're gonna add to it. So environment, which is our current environment for this program run, which is just a clone of the original, is so what we'll do underscore, we'll get the output array and we'll add to it returned value plus output. So now when we run a program, the output variable will include the output. Now we can also add this in down here, environment dot underscore output dot push. This needs to be a period. Parsing, we'll call this parsing error e, and then we'll also console.log e for our own debugging. Now up here we need to add a catch block to this one, which is going to be if there was an error when running the program. So what we'll do for that is, instead of a parsing error, we can call this a runtime error. And there is some built-in status codes in the, or we're going to have some status codes built into our errors in the future. So e.status, or a question mark if we don't know the status, and then we'll just have the text of the error, and that should be it. Now what we want to do is when we run, we will do return the match result in case we want that later. We'll return the program, which is the program, and we'll return the output, which is environment dot underscore underscore output underscore underscore. So that's the basics of running a program complete. Okay, so next we're going to add some temporary code for running some code. So what we'll do is we're going to have, let's actually also pass along the environment itself. So we'll do environment. So what we want to do now is we're going to create another async function. Call this test because we're just going to use it for testing and then we're going to delete it. What it's going to do is it's going to do output equals await. We're going to run some code. Our code is going to be x equals 100, y equals pi. So this is going to test two things. We'll put a new line. First thing, it's going to test assignment, so we're going to make sure assignment works, and then second, we're going to test that getting a variable, which is pi, which we defined in the original environment up there, also works. So once we have that, we're going to console.log the output, and we'll join it with new lines, and we will also console.log the values of x and y. X and y. So now we are going to test this out. Okay, so we forgot a comma here, so we need to add a comma after underscore iter. If you missed that, then we can save it and we can try testing it again. One other thing we need to fix real quick is over here in math multiply, or in math add actually, we wrote this mat, it needs to be math. So now that that's fixed, now we should be able to test it. Another small error, we put 3 s's in here, so this needs to be math add expression with only 2 s's. And we forgot one last thing, which is we have to actually run our test function. So once we run that, now everything should work. One less thing I missed, the output needs to be output.output. Okay, now we can try it. Okay, there's one more thing. This needs to be output.environment, and this needs to be output.environment. And now we can try again. So there's a lot of things that I missed before trying to run it, so we're going to add in some extra error checking, so we're going to console.log after that, just in case we miss something, which we did many times. Okay, looks like multiple times I wrote interpret instead of interpret, so we're going to use find and replace. Whatever text editor you have should have this. So you just type in interpret and interpret and replace all, and now that should be fixed. And again, we've made another typo. Environment should be environment. I can't really type and talk at the same time, I guess. Okay, but now we should be good to go. We can do node language.js. And there we can see that we have our value for pi, and our x value is 100, and our y value is this. So why it has a return value is because when we set y equals pi, then it also, that was the last thing that we did, so that shows up as the return value. So yeah, now we can run programs with our language. So in future episodes, we're going to be adding, well, in the next episode, we're probably going to be adding, connecting together Discord and Ohm, and then we're going to be adding if statements, switch statements, better number processing, type checking, more like native math functions, and tons and tons of other cool stuff. So thanks for watching this episode. In the next parts, we'll do all those things that I just said. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more content. And I'll see you in the next part. Bye.